Hello everyone, and welcome to Shell Point Today for Wednesday, September 23rd. I'm Dan Filgrain. On today's show, we'll talk about the mysteries of routine dentistry. And resident Elmer Taylor tells us why he should have been born a bird, and talks about his passion for restoring old airplanes. You know, there's nothing like a little English tea with a southern flair. And the Wisteria Tea Room, located in an adorable early 1900s bungalow in Fort Myers, is the perfect spot. For a spot of tea, that is. Tomorrow you can visit the tea room for a charming and oh-so-tasty afternoon of finger sandwiches, scones, and delectable sweets. And, of course, various teas. The cost of the outing is $33, and this includes tea, food, and tip. Court pickups begin at 12:30 on the island, so make sure that you've signed up. And don't forget that this Friday is the Trinkets and Treasures sale at the Social Center from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. There you can find great deals on an incredible assortment of unique, previously used items. From books to buttons, this sale has it all, so come on out. Shell Point resident Elmer Taylor should have been a bird. He was definitely born to fly and spent much of his spare time acquiring some interesting old airplanes and restoring them. After obtaining his aeronautical engineering degree, Elmer worked as a statistical analyst for American Airlines and later for GE. He was happy to recall his adventures with us and to tell us about the 5 airplanes that he restored.
A mistake was made when I was born. I was supposed to have been born a bird, and I came out this way instead. I would run and jump and flap my arms. And I did that as a little kid. As soon as I was allowed to be outside on my own, that's what I would do. And one morning I saw a squirrel, which wasn't unusual to see a squirrel in the pear trees. And all of a sudden, he jumped. And he put out all 4 this way, and I could see and he floated over to the next pear tree, which was quite a ways apart. I've been trying to learn to fly, and here this animal, who's dumber than I am, he's real dumb, but he can fly, and I can't. And I'm so amazed by this. I was too young to get into the Air Force, and besides I had to wear glasses by then, and they wouldn't take me. And I couldn't fly commercially either. Couldn't learn to fly that way for the same reasons. So I decided that what I would do is go to Penn State and get an aeronautical engineering degree, and I learned to build and design model airplanes. I was not only building models from kits, I learned to design my own models, and I learned to design and build sailplanes, which I had a fascination with too.
Actually, our first date was they were having a model airplane kind of, not exactly a show, but just having different ones were flying their model airplanes.
Yeah, it's just a field off campus, and a bunch of guys had friends that all had model airplanes that they flew, you know, little engine and radio controlled. And so I decided to take her out to one afternoon to see these planes fly.
Airplanes had always interested me too.
Yeah, that's how it happened. And it turned out that I was very good in mathematics and stuff, and I was ready to go that, but it turned out I was also good in statistics and math and statistics and all that kind of stuff. And I passed some pretty tough tests, and one of them was the professor gave us a test, was if you were going to join if you wanted to work for an airline, which airline would it be? And it took me a couple minutes to figure that out. I had them all listed in order, and these 2 up at the top. And then I had my reasons for picking American over TWA. Well, I did go to American Airlines. I was given tasks to predict things in the future and to solve problems. Then I went from American Airlines. I worked 10 years for American Airlines. Then I left American and went to GE, and we moved to Connecticut then. I got involved in solving their problems, predicting into the future with my statistical background. Did things like predicting what was going to happen 1 year from then. I had data going back for over 5 years of the retail sales of GE products, statistically manipulating that data so that you could break them down into the trend, the seasonal, the ups and downs throughout the year, cyclical, other things that had nothing to do with the seasonality by month, and then irregular components. That was something even more irregular than these non-regular ones. And so when I had that, I had 5 years of that data for all of our industry, okay? And I let it be known that a year from today, here's what's going to happen. And so I got good at something besides flying and earn a living from it. Started flying from a little, maybe 1,800-foot runway.
Grass runway.
Grass runway. There was tall trees at both ends. So you had to get off quick and still keep a stable airplane. You had to have 40 hours of instruction before they would give you a license. And I was able to get my license easily before the 40 hours. But they wouldn't give it to me until the 40 hours were up, so I had to keep taking lessons and paying the extra $10 or $12 or whatever it was an hour.
That's when you got your first airplane, because
yeah,
a friend had one that I can tell you about. You got
John Yarrows?
Yeah, you went over and got the airplane. They moved it back from there, kind of in pieces, because he had the in the house. It had to take the front door off, or the screen door off, so that you could get the fuselage out and the wings all out, and get everything moved down to the airport.
Yeah, I just continued to take it even more apart and restore it. I've restored 4 more after that, and they were all Pipers, and they all went up, you know, in power and
got bigger and bigger.
Yeah, bigger and bigger. First of all, I had to spend a lot of time restoring them, and I don't think anything took less than a year to restore.
J5, you had
a lot of help.
A lot of help with that, because it needed need completely redoing.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed restoring them as much as I did flying. So I had a lot of fun both ways. And so I got my fun out of each one, but I did keep the original one until very...
Just kind of sentimental
yeah,
value.
Yeah. The J5, Piper J5. Tri-Pacer was one.
Tri-Pacer was the second one. You had a couple of Cherokees.
Yeah, there was the Piper 4-place Cherokee. There was the Piper...
the big one.
The 6th-place.
Yeah, and the Comanche.
Yes, that was the favorite. You could do anything and everything. And as a matter of fact, our second son, he got a twin-engine version of that same airplane. And I got to fly that when we got out to California. He would take us up, and so I could rack up a little bit of twin engine time. Raised 4 kids.
2 of them are pilots.
Yeah. And they're both commercial pilots now.
And one of them is building his own kind from a kit there, like.
Yeah. One of them is on the far East Coast, kind of 2 blocks from the Atlantic. The other is in California, in Northern California. Our daughter is in Idaho and up part of, and the other one is in Virginia.
The dredging boat captain.
Captain on a dredging boat, and he did the dredging out here.
Centerville, out at the lighthouse when it was.
Lighthouse. She was my fallback. Anytime we ran into a situation where if I passed out in board, she could fly the airplane to another airport, read the maps.
Fortunately, that never happened.
Yeah, but I had every confidence that she could land that airplane at any airport. Well, we've flown many times down to the Carolinas.
Also to the Sun and Fun Fly-In out there. Where is that?
Lakeland?
Not Lakeland, the one further.
No,
the big one.
Oshkosh, yes. That's probably the longest distance we've flown.
Out at the Shell Point Golf Course, you'll probably see an occasional plane in the sky. And if you're lucky, you might even see one like those Elmer restored. But at any rate, something you're sure to see while looking up is golf balls. To help you get more lift when hitting the ball, here's golf professional Gary Keating with another great golf tip.
Hi, Gary Keating here at Shell Point Golf Club. The tip I'm going to give you today is basically about a fairway wood, okay? Now the fairway woods, they come in various lofts. The one I have in my hand right now is a 15 degree. I like the 15 degree because I can actually hit it off the tee on some of them tight holes. I feel uncomfortable with the driver. The 15 degree, it also comes in 17 or 19. The next segment after this, we'll talk a little bit about the hybrids. The biggest mistake I physically see about when people actually try to hit a fairway wood off the ground is they try to lift the golf ball. So what we want out of the fairway wood is we want the club to make contact at the angle it's at right now. When players play, they tend to lift the ball or try to lift the ball in the air, and what happens as they lift it, the back of the club comes down, and as you can see, this is what we call the leading edge. That's exposed, and that hits the ball first, so we kind of top the golf ball. So that's one of the faults. The second fault, as I see, is insufficient weight transfer from the right side of the body to the left side. So I'm going to give you a bad weight transfer right here, and then I'll give you a good one, and I'll show you the difference. So we'll go through some of the philosophies of basically transferring the weight from the right side to the left side. So I'm going to make a swing right here, and as you'll see, my weight will hang back to the right side, okay? So we're going to make a swing, and I'll stop on the finish to where you can see bad weight transfer. And as you can see, my right hand is underneath my left, and my weight's on my right side. I'm going to give you a good weight transfer right now, and you'll see a different position with the right arm, okay? So we're going to give you a good weight transfer. And as you can see, my right forearm is on top of my left. You can see my weight is moved to the left foot. Now what that will do, it will put more mass behind the golf ball at impact, and from there we'll get a better strike of the golf ball. So the two things I think about when I'm hitting a fairway wood, number one, stay within my power limitation. That sounds kind of funny right there, but as soon as people get a fairway wood in their hand, their immediate reaction is to hit it harder than they physically can. So that way we lose the ball left, right, and we hit some bad shots. So when I swing my fairway wood personally, I'll use about 75 to 85% of my power. The second thing I will always think about is making sure my right forearm crosses over my left. By doing that, the weight transfers from the right side to the left side, we get loft, we get backspin, the ball gets high, and hopefully we knock it on the green in a par 5. So once again, I'm going to give you a quick demonstration. I'm going to actually hit a golf ball, and you'll see my weight will transfer to the left side. And the things you'll notice is basically my right forearm crosses over the left. So I'm going to give you one practice swing and then hit one. Right over left. So let's hit one. Let's see what it looks like. As you can see, my weight's on the left side. My right forearm is higher than the left. If you have any of these problems, you can contact us at the Pro Shop. It's 433-9790. Or just contact us on the web at shellpointgolf.com. Thank you.
And now it's time to talk about routine dental care. Did you know that keeping your mouth healthy can help prevent heart disease and aid in the control of diabetes? For more on this, let's go to Heather Batty as she visits with Dr. Milasp, who will be speaking about the mysteries of routine dentistry on Friday of this week.
Hi, I'm Heather Batty with Resort Services, and today I have a special guest, Dr. Milasp. He has been keeping your smiles pretty here at Shell Point Life for 27 years. Hi, Dr. Milasp.
Good morning, Heather.
Thank you for being with us today.
My pleasure.
And we're going to talk about an upcoming Health Connection program that you're doing, and it's the mysteries of routine dentistry.
Yes, ma'am. I'm really looking forward to that. Seems that when people come to the dentist, they sit down in a chair, they open their mouth, and they have no idea what's happening there until the dentist says, sit up, we're done. So I'm kind of excited to let people know about what we actually do, what procedures are, why we do them, what happens to them, and why we do all those things, and just let them know what happens.
Right, and I know, myself included, I don't look forward to going to the dentist. So I think hearing what things, why it's important for us to really have these routine exams. So why is it that we have to have these yearly or 6-month exams?
One of the most important things is that you get an oral cancer examination every time that you come to the dentist, or you should. Mm-hmm. We always check the interior of the mouth. We check all the soft tissues, check the lymph nodes, make sure that's clear. And as much as anything else, that's really what's important.
Okay. So would you say it's more the gum health that you're checking?
No, we check, we check all that too. A good dental examination always includes checking of the gums, especially an initial examination where we do measurements of the gums, and I'll explain all that at the seminar.
Perfect. So for our population here at Shell Point, do you recommend 6 months or a year, or does it depend on, different patient by patient basis? Everything
is individually configured. There are some people who can go a year without needing an examination, although, as I said before, a 6-month check is usually better, because if anything bad does happen in the way of oral cancer or something like that, we pick it up quick when it's young. But there are people who, because of their inability to see or work their hands the way they used to, need to be seen in 4 months, or sometimes even 3 or even 2 months. It's all an individual thing.
And now your office is right here at the medical center.
It is indeed.
And you perform everything right here in the office?
We do. We provide every service here that we provide in our other office. And we have availability both to the residents here, and if they prefer to drive and come somewhere else, they can go to our main office. But we don't do gum surgery, and we don't do braces, and other than that, we provide any service you need.
Right. Now, we always hear of gum disease. And how prevalent is that? Is that something that really everybody should be very concerned with?
There's an amazing amount of gum infection and gum problems with the general population, more so in the elderly population, I have found. Again, just because of an inability as you get older sometimes to manipulate your hands or to be able to see as well as you should. Not so much a lack of trying as a lack of efficiency.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know my mom always said brush my teeth morning and night to keep your teeth and your gums clean. So I think this is a really important presentation. It is with Dr. Milasp, and it's routine dentistry, September 25th at 10 a.m. in the Grand Cypress. Thanks so much, and stay happy and healthy.
And now let's take a look at today's happenings, Academy News, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hello and happy Wednesday. This is the happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Caitlin Vanskoy, and I'm here with Bev Chanley, and we're going to let you know all of Wednesday's activities. We start at 7:45 with men's Bible study. That'll be in the Osprey room. At 8 o'clock, we have men's round-robin doubles tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. Lilly & Company Jewelers will be here at 8:45 for their weekly jewelry service. They'll be in the Resident Activity Center with a table. Gerasi Travel will be here from 9 to 12 in the Egret Room to help you with all your personal traveling needs. Also at 9 o'clock, the Watercolor Group with Phil Hilton will be in the Art Studio. The Card Making and Scrapbooking Group will be meeting in the Tarpon Room at 9:15. And then we move to 10 o'clock for men's round-robin doubles tennis. That'll be at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. Also at 10 o'clock, the ladies' Bible study will be gathering in the Osprey Room on the island. And then at 10:15, the Model Yacht Sailing Club will be at the Woodlands Commons Lake to sail their boats. Our last morning activity is at 11:30. We have a Health Connections class, Agility and Flexibility, and that'll be in the Health Club and currently full. Here's Bev to tell you all about our afternoon lineup.
Thank you, Caitlin. At 1 o'clock today, we have chess being played in the Library Lounge on the island. And we have Hearing Enrichment Group meeting in the Manatee Room at 1:15. At 1:45, we have a Health Connections class, Balance and Mobility Training Level 1. That's in the Health Club and it is currently full. Jazz and Stuff will be in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands at 2:30. 3 o'clock's the time for the Bible study at the King's Crown Community Room. Also at 3 o'clock, we have a Health Connections class, Pilates Stretch, that's at the Health Club. Indoor Bocce will be at the Health Club at 4:30. And we have a 5 o'clock singles table at the Crystal Dining Room. At 5:45, the church choir rehearsal will be at the Village Church. And our last activity of the day is 7:15, Prayer and Praise at the Village Church. We're happy to see you here today, and we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Wednesday. At 10 o'clock, we have a Legacy Foundation seminar, Smart IRA Planning and Withdrawal Strategies. This will take place in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands for those who have signed up. At 1 o'clock, our intermediate bridge class will begin with session 1 in the game room of the Woodlands. Sign up is required. And at 3 o'clock, a basics prep school continues in the computer center at the Woodlands.
Menus for Wednesday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is apple smoked pork roast with ranch beans and collard greens. The soup of the day is tortellini and sausage. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a ham and turkey sub with Swiss and chips for $7.75. The dinner special is fried shrimp for $8.75. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, I'm Randy Woods, and I want to take this opportunity today to introduce you to our newest staff member here at the Village Church. We have John Lough, who has come to us to serve as our media production manager, taking care of all things technical, lights and sound. And John, good to have you with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of your work, understanding you've got lots of experience with audio and visual work.
Well, I come from the Buckeye State of Ohio, and
we won't hold that against you. Our Buckeye friends will be happy about that. Yeah. But the others from Michigan, well, tell us a little bit more.
I started working at Cedarville University after I attended there in 1998, and worked at Cedarville as the sound technician there and lighting till about 2004. And at that point, an Alliance Church in Dayton, Ohio, asked me to come. By the name of Fairhaven, and I was the main tech guy there for about 11 years, doing all their audio and lighting and video production for the services.
So here you're going to be responsible for providing the sound, not just for the church services, but all of our community programs, the quarterly meeting, the concerts, the fine and performing arts concerts, activities. How did you get involved in sound and lighting, of all things?
Well, I actually grew up in a Christian organization by the name of Word of Life, and that's where I got my start doing all the audio and lighting and production type work that I've learned. I just love being able to assist in making things sound good and not have many mistakes. I strive for perfection, so hopefully I can carry that over here at Shell Point and at the Village Church. So I'm looking forward and thrilled to be here and just seeing how I can use my talent.
I assume that you would like to have a few more hands.
Oh, that's for sure. We're always looking for volunteers to come and help with our services and all the community events and concerts that happen. And I would love to have at least 10, 15 people come in and volunteer and help out with those different events. So.
And I understand in your last position you had more than that. How many did you have working with you at Fairhaven?
We had about 30 volunteers, and just for one church service, it took about 15 people to pull off one service. Yeah. So.
Now, what kind of things could a volunteer do? If I wanted to come and help, and I wouldn't be much help because I'm all thumbs, but if I were to come, or someone from a resident from the community would like to help, what kind of things could they volunteer to do?
We can use volunteers to do all kinds of things for the tech area. We have opportunities to run PowerPoint presentations. We have opportunities to run lights and sound. And I know that this all sounds kind of overwhelming, but we will provide training for people who are kind of nervous about maybe trying to volunteer. We'll make you comfortable so that you can know what you're doing and help out with all the things that are happening here at Shell Point and at the church.
Okay. Well, glad to have you here. We're looking forward to an exciting season. Appreciate the work you've done already just in these first 2 weeks. And I trust that you'll get to know John and you'll be hearing and seeing, maybe not him, but you'll be hearing and seeing his work as you come to the Village Church for concerts as well as worship services. So thank you, John. Good to have you with us.
All right. Thanks.
And that will bring today's program to a close. Join us tomorrow when Melody Desailly takes us down to the model train room as they are almost ready to open for tours again. And Anna Smith from Finemark Bank will talk to us about elective share. Finally, we'll get you in the mood for the trinkets and treasures sale with a little humor. Until then, this has been Shell Point Today for Wednesday, September 23rd. I'm Dan Philgreen, and on behalf of the entire SBTV staff, we hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again here tomorrow.